Have you ever had one of those quiet moments in the morning when everything seems normal, yet something inside feels strangely empty? The day begins like any other day, but there is a quiet question somewhere in the background that never fully goes away. From the outside, life may look perfectly fine. Work continues, responsibilities are handled, conversation happen, and the days move forward in their familiar rhythm. But somewhere beneath that routine, many people carry a quiet feeling they can't easily explain. It is the sense that something is missing, even if they cannot clearly name what the missing piece might be. This feeling does not always appear as sadness. Sometimes it simply feels like a vague disconnection from life itself. People wake up, go through their day, and complete everything that is expected of them. Yet, at night, when the noise of the day finally fades, a quiet thought sometimes appears. It whispers a simple but unsettling question. Is this really the life I was meant to live? In today's world, this feeling has become surprisingly common. Many people quietly experience a sense of being lost, even while their lives appear stable on the surface. They may have careers, families, routines, and responsibilities, yet somewhere inside they feel uncertain about the direction of their lives. It can feel as though everyone else knows exactly where they are going. Meanwhile, they feel like travelers walking through a fog without a clear path ahead. This episode explores that feeling. It reflects on why so many people today experience this quiet sense of being lost. The reasons are not always dramatic or obvious. Often they are woven into the structure of modern life itself. From a very early age, people are guided into systems that shape the way they think about success. School encourages certain paths, society praises certain achievements, and culture quietly defines what a meaningful life should look like. Without realizing it, many people begin following a script that was written long before they ever had the chance to question it. They move from school to work, from one responsibility to another, always moving forward but rarely stopping to ask why. At first, this path can feel reassuring. It offers structure, direction, and a sense of belonging. But over time, something subtle begins to happen. The routines that once provided stability slowly begin to feel mechanical. Days become predictable, weeks blend into months, and months quietly turn into years. Somewhere along that path, many people begin to notice that they have become very busy. Yet, despite all that activity, they feel strangely disconnected from their deeper sense of purpose. Modern life often rewards efficiency and productivity. It celebrates achievement, progress, and measurable success. But meaning does not always follow the same rules. A person can achieve many goals and still feel that something essential is missing. This is one of the quiet paradoxes of modern life. The things society encourages us to chase do not always bring the sense of fulfillment we expect. Many people spend years pursuing success because they believe it will bring clarity. They imagine that once they reach a certain milestone, everything will finally make sense. They believe that the next promotion, the next achievement, or the next accomplishment will provide that missing sense of direction. Yet, when those milestones arrive, the feeling of emptiness often remains. The Austrian psychiatrist Viktor Frankl once wrote deeply about this experience. After surviving unimaginable suffering during the Second World War, he became fascinated by a simple question: what gives life meaning, even in the most difficult circumstances? His observations led him to a powerful realization. Human beings are not driven only by pleasure or success. At a deeper level, they are driven by the search for meaning. When that sense of meaning is missing, life can begin to feel strangely hollow. Even comfortable lives can begin to feel empty without a deeper sense of purpose. Frankl observed that people who felt connected to a meaningful purpose were able to endure extraordinary hardship. Their sense of meaning gave them strength that went far beyond external circumstances. In contrast, people who lost that connection often struggled even when their physical needs were met. The absence of meaning created a quiet inner suffering. In many ways, modern life makes this challenge more complicated. Society often provides countless opportunities, yet very little guidance about how to choose between them. There are endless paths available: careers, lifestyles, identities, and possibilities stretch out in every direction. At first, this freedom seems exciting, but too many choices can sometimes create confusion instead of clarity. When every path seems possible, it becomes harder to know which direction truly matters. People begin wondering whether they are making the right decisions. This uncertainty can quietly create a sense of drifting. Life moves forward, yet the deeper sense of direction remains unclear. Social media has added another layer to this experience. Every day, people are surrounded by images of other lives that appear confident, successful, and perfectly organized. Scrolling through these images creates a powerful illusion. It begins to look as if everyone else has already figured out their life. People see careers, relationships, travels, achievements, and moments of happiness displayed in carefully curated snapshots. These images rarely show the confusion, doubt, and uncertainty that exist behind the scenes. Over time, the mind begins to make silent comparisons. It wonders why other people seem so certain while life still feels unclear. But the truth is far more complex than it appears online. Many of those same people quietly experience the same doubts and questions. They also wonder whether they are moving in the right direction. They also feel uncertain about what their life is meant to become. Yet, because everyone hides those uncertainties, the illusion remains. Each person believes they are the only one who feels lost. Another reason people feel disconnected is that modern life rarely leaves space for reflection. Days become filled with constant noise and activity. Phones buzz with notifications. Work demands attention, and entertainment fills every quiet moment. There is little space left for silence. Yet, silence is often where deeper understanding begins to emerge. When life becomes too busy, people stop listening to their inner voice. They move from one task to the next without asking deeper questions. What truly matters to me? What kind of life do I want to build? These questions require time and stillness. Without that space, they remain unanswered. Ancient philosophies understood this need for reflection long before modern psychology existed. Stoic philosophers often spoke about the importance of examining one's life. They believed that clarity does not come from external achievements. Instead, it grows from understanding one's values and priorities. One Stoic thinker once wrote that people often travel far distances searching for meaning, yet the deeper answers are often found within themselves. This idea may sound simple, but it is surprisingly difficult in a world that constantly pulls attention outward. Advertisements, trends, expectations, and social comparisons all compete for attention. Gradually, people begin living according to external signals instead of inner guidance. They pursue goals that seem impressive rather than meaningful. Over time, that disconnection grows stronger. Life becomes full, yet it feels strangely empty. Many people believe that purpose should appear suddenly like a revelation. They imagine that one day everything will become clear in a single moment of inspiration. But purpose rarely works that way. It usually grows slowly through curiosity, experience, and small decisions made over time. Meaning is not something people simply discover like a hidden treasure. More often, it is something they gradually build. It grows through attention, reflection, and the willingness to explore what genuinely matters. Sometimes the feeling of being lost is actually part of that process. Feeling lost can be uncomfortable, yet it often signals that something deeper is beginning to change. It may mean that old definitions of success no longer feel meaningful. It may mean that the mind is quietly searching for a more authentic path. Many meaningful journeys begin with confusion. When familiar answers stop working, people begin searching more honestly. This is why periods of uncertainty can sometimes become turning points. They create the space where deeper questions can finally appear. What truly brings a sense of meaning? What kind of life feels genuine rather than impressive? These questions do not always have quick answers, yet slowly they begin guiding people toward a more thoughtful way of living. Purpose is often found in small moments of awareness. It appears in the quiet choices people make each day. It appears when someone begins paying attention to what genuinely matters. It appears when curiosity replaces comparison. Over time, those small moments begin forming a clearer path. Not a perfect path, but a meaningful one. The feeling of being lost does not always mean something is wrong. Sometimes it simply means the next chapter of life has not fully revealed itself yet. And sometimes that uncertainty is the beginning of something important. Thank you for spending this quiet time listening and reflecting together. I truly hope these thoughts gave you a moment of clarity or comfort. And if this conversation felt meaningful to you, you can support the channel by subscribing, liking the video, or sharing it with someone who might need to hear it too. This is Nazi Entezari, and you're listening to The Gentle Nights. Wishing you a peaceful day and a beautiful life ahead.